Hi everyone, it's Mary and I am here today to show you my envelope explosion flip thing. This is actually the first one that I made, and I followed a video that was done by May Made It, and I really like her videos and it was a lot of fun. And it's closed with a magnet and then it flips open and kind of keeps on going, and I don't think that I can be all in frame with the whole thing, but this is, and it's landscape, and then just flips it in. It doesn't matter which side flips in, and then it's the envelope's magnet. So there's this one, and today I've done a little tweaking with it, and I'm making an explosion envelope flip journal, and this is the one that I made that we're gonna do one. And I just did a belly band because I was going to put ribbon on it and forgot. So it flips open, and then you've got the one side, and then it comes open to this side, and this side there's a little journal, and then more paper. You could put pictures, you could put pockets, tucks, tags, belly bands. So anyway, we're going to do the portrait version. This one has, like I said, I just did a little ribbon band for it because I forgot to put ribbon under the paper, and it's a sewn in 3 pamphlet stitch. So this is what we're making today. So let's get started. Get these out of my way. Okay, so we're going to start with our envelope punch board. And as far as measurements, you can do these in many different sizes. I chose to do the 10 1/4 by 10 1/4 envelope and the 10 by 10 envelope, because you're going to need 3 envelopes. The center envelope needs to be slightly larger than the 2 sides. So I went and just found the 10 1/4 and the 10 inch were perfect for what I wanted. And I've gone ahead and done 2 of the envelopes. I'm going to finish up the 3rd. And so I started out, this is my 10 by 10, and I started out in here at 4 1/8, and I punched and scored. And then, like you're making any envelope, you're just going to follow your score line, punch and score. I'll do this last couple. I was trying to get some of it done so that the video didn't take forever. But when you are scoring these long lines, they go a little bit past the board, so you want to be careful at the end so that you're not tearing your paper. You don't have to worry about scoring to the end because you can still see it, see where the line is, so you can still punch and score your last guy. So there's that. And then you're just going to make your all your envelopes like that. And I went ahead and used the corner rounder. You can use any corner rounder. You don't have to round your corners. It's a personal choice. You can use your corner rounder for every corner that you round for the project. Whatever you want. And then I went ahead and inked the papers. I really like the way that looks, although it takes it feels like forever. But so I've inked part of it, and we'll go ahead and just lightly fold. You don't have to burnish really hard, just needs to give it some movement. And then I'm just going to ink up these last couple edges. I was making them and a couple other ones to show you guys, and realized after I put all of the decorative paper on that I didn't ink anything. I like the way the ink looks, I just don't always remember to do it. So I tried to get some of that stuff done already, so that I think we all know how to ink edges. So we've got that. That. And then I've got my other 2 envelopes, which I've already kind of started doing one side. not because I intended to have it done, but because when I was kind of working through it in my head last night, I started gluing things. And I got one flap glued and I went, wait a minute, I need to do that in my video. So sorry about that, guys. Basically what I did on this side, and I'll do it on this side, is just kind of matched up a little bit. It's the larger envelope does come over just a tad. But let me show you actually what I did on that one. So since I want it to be portrait, I want it to be up and down. It's a little bit harder to match the envelopes. If you're going landscape, the width is the same on the larger envelope as well as the smaller envelopes, so they meet up nicely. So there's a little bit of maneuvering with the larger and smaller envelopes. But anyway, I just kind of butt this edge up to this score and kind of just play with it a little bit. And then I kind of fold these in and fold it, and actually it doesn't matter if it slides because you just want to be on this envelope side of the score. And then I kind of put it there. I'm sorry, I'm going to be turning around and moving stuff because I'm eyeballing it to kind of get, then I'm fold this one over, but then I'm going to eyeball the envelope so that I can kind of get it centered in there as best I can. So that when it's in there, it's got the same at the top and the bottom. And let me go ahead and just flip that down so it's out of my way, because it will be glued down. We'll glue that down here in just a second. And actually, you could even, once you have one down, you can line up your envelopes there. And then I'm just gonna make sure everything fits. And this is where doing it portrait's a little bit fiddly, because it doesn't quite want to fold flat because of the bulkiness. If you're doing the landscape, it's still the larger flaps because the widths are the same. So you just want to kind of play with it a little bit. And I'm just going to get a hold of my tool, kind of just lightly give that a little bit more room. But it all should fit and go nicely together. Okay, and so then I just take this side, now that I've got it kind of lined up where I want it, and I'm using my white glue because the double stick tape and I don't get along. It does not like me. It does not stay stuck for me. I burnish it. I don't know. Anyway, the double stick tape does not like me. And I find that the white glue works perfectly well and it sticks quickly. I don't have to wait. I keep going. I don't wait. I don't wait for it to dry. And then we're just going to glue the two inside flaps down to the middle. So since I didn't do this one last night, we'll go ahead and just get some glue on there and do that. You could use glue stick. You could use you know, your double-sided tape. You could use your ATG. Like I said, the double stick score tape type tape, red back tape, whatever. For whatever reason, it doesn't like me. I don't know whether it's living in Kansas, if the climate has anything to do with it, or what. But it does not. It does not like me. So I just stick with the white glue. Works quite well. Okay, so we have the bones of it. Simple, simple. And then to do the decorative paper, you're obviously going to be cutting many, many, many sheets of paper. For the center one, you're going to measure, and you know, I thought I had everything. It's not far, but I thought I had everything sitting right here within arm's reach. Didn't. I just measure approximate. So this is approximately 5.5. So I'm gonna do 5 3/8. I think I did 5 1/8 on this one for the center. No, I went ahead and just did 5, and then by 3/4. So it's approximately 8. So I went in 1/4 of an inch just to have a little bit of a border. So on the center one, I did 5 by 7 3/4. And then on the sides, I just did the same 5 by, it's a little bit smaller, so I did 7.5 because these are about 7 3/4. So for our pattern paper for the 3 main panels, the center was 5 by 7 3/4, and the 2 sides were 5 by 7.5. And then I just cut 4 pieces for the sides because you're going to do the front and the back, and then 2 for the center. So I have those to lay out for the inside. And then for, which I don't know, did I do that wrong? There we go. And then for the triangles, I measured the squares like on the angle, and this is 4, so I did a 4 by 4 square and cut it on the diagonal for the 12 pieces we need for the center. And then I did the same thing, measured the diagonal on the sides, and it was 5.5. So I did a 5.5 inch square and then cut that on the diagonal, and that does the ends. And you need 4 for that, and you can use the same paper, different paper. That's up to you. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use my HEG. I've done it with the white glue. This paper is the Theodosia Square paper from Hobby Lobby, and it is a little bit thinner. And then I just eyeball it to get it on there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to be adding, see if I can, doesn't have to be perfect, let's get it on there. Try again, see if I can rip it up. No, that one may just be wrinkled. White glue is nice, it gives you a little bit of wiggle room on your to get it stuck down. And also using a little bit of cardstock, it handles a little bit easier. Stuck down. I've tried a bunch of different sizes. You can just use your envelope punch board. And in Maymay's video, she talked about how, you know, kind of a little bit of advice on figuring out what size envelope. I did mine where they were about 1/4 of an inch difference in size. So the center one's about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the sides. I've not tried the ones that are like 1/2 inch. So I would, you know, maybe cut out and do a couple of envelopes and just kind of see what envelopes kind of work together, because some of them have different shapes, and so they're not they don't go together well. Alright, so oh, hello. Yes. My husband is off work today. He's just getting... Okay, don't look at my crooked. It's hard to see. Not standing up and hovering over it. Maybe I should try that.